What's up, Primal Gang? Gonna watch what Dr. Peter Rogers eats in a day.
Okay, hi. We're going to talk about, some people ask me, what do I eat in a day? So, basically, if I have a work day, I usually eat the OMAD diet. OMAD, 1 meal a day. And then make sure I get some beans for dinner.
I said it before, I could eat 1 meal a day, but the reason why I'm not doing it, it would be a little bit uncomfortable. And yeah, I just prefer to spread out my foods throughout the day.
So here's the typical beans. Get them in the camera. These are
It looks disgusting.
French green lentils. They're good. Red lentils.
It's like, green lentils. Come on, man. Actually, the way I liked lentils, it's to cook it together with some rice and to have a bunch of fried egg on top. Like back in the days when I was brainwashed that grains are healthy or whatever, that was one of my favorite meals. Just little lentils and bunch of eggs, okay, on top.
Lentils are good. Garbanzos are good. Black beans are good. I like all of them. Always get them organic.
I don't eat any of these foods these days. I had some like in a container and I just gave it to the birds.
So beans got a lot of fiber. Perhaps lentils are one of the best because of their small diameter. They got more outer surface area fiber relative to their central content. Increased fiber means slower digestion, so you get more prolonged satisfaction.
Not just slower, it's just no digestion at all. I mean, maybe the middle part, yeah, gets somewhat digested, but yeah, not much, man.
Action of hunger. And that's one of the great things about starches. Low caloric density such that they stretch the stomach, early satisfaction of hunger, and subsequent delayed.
Yeah, why would you need it to stretch the stomach or whatever?
It takes a lot of time for the intestinal tract to remove the fiber from the beans, so
yeah, and because it takes time, it's gonna hurt the intestine.
You get prolonged satisfaction of hunger with these starches. Beans are an example of the starches. Now, I probably will only eat about 2 cups of beans a day. I don't eat more than that. I'll sometimes have just 1 cup a day or none.
Because it feels toxic?
And the reason is beans are quite high in protein. You know, beans can get up there in protein.
Oh my days, man. Like, that's it. He just lost all his credibility.
25%, 30% even, some of them. So, I like overall...
I would understand if he would have just a small portion and he's brainwashed like I used to be. But I definitely wasn't brainwashed to just eat a lot of this. But he names these beans, like beans... Okay, maybe you guys name it beans, but these are lentils, okay? What he was showing. And he was definitely raising the same bag, or he has like 10 bags on that table and he was raising beans this time. I don't know, man.
Plant-based diet to keep my protein intake probably in the ballpark of 10% or less. And this is all plant protein, all plant protein.
Look at this nice house and he eats beans.
Never any animal protein. I'm 100% plant-based in my diet.
What he was saying?
Probably in the ballpark of 10% or less. And this is all plant protein, all plant protein, never any animal protein.
Never any animal protein. Yeah, sure, buddy.
100% plant-based in my diet. I'll often have rice. Here's the rice. And
oh my days, man.
As you'll notice, it's white rice. I only eat white rice.
And as a doctor or whatever, why do you keep it in a plastic bag? You should just at least have like a fancy container for it, man.
Because there's less arsenic in the white rice. And you also want to buy your rice from somewhere that is low in arsenic. I have another video about the issue of arsenic in rice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he makes sure about that. To buy it from a good place or whatever, but yeah, it's still just it doesn't make any sense to eat it, man.
Just of it being,
you would be better off drinking some fruit juice, because you look dehydrated. Durian Rider is gonna look like you.
Primarily, the chicken farmers sold the chicken poop to the rice farmers, and the chicken poop had arsenic in it because they gave them.
The chicken poop is good for the rice fields.
Arsenic-containing medicines to treat intestinal parasites for the chicken.
Oh, that's something else. If they were fed something bad, then yeah. But some chickens that eat their natural diet, they are good for the ground.
So, anyways, the rice should only be organic. Buy it from a place low in in arsenic. California is relatively good compared to the southeastern states because they used to have cotton crops there, and they'd spray arsenic-related pesticides on them to treat the boll weevils, so to speak. What else? Rinse the rice first, and then cook
I never eat rice again.
it in extra water. Those are
I hope I never have to eat rice again.
all ways to reduce the arsenic content. All right, what else do I like for dinner? I like blueberries. Let me show you blueberries. Where's my bag of blueberries? I know.
Again, I think he makes sure that the blueberries are sprayed free or whenever it's organic and it's not as bad as just buying the average blueberry out there.
Cold here. I think I got a bag. Okay, here's
And if that is the case, if it was really collected from the middle of forest or whatever, where also the bears collecting it, and it's like far away, then again I have nothing against that. I would eat it. I would be in there in forest and somewhere far away in the wilderness where I would find a blueberry. Just make sure that on the other side of the bush there's no bears or something collecting collecting blueberries. Like yeah.
Here's a bag of blueberries. What do I like about them? When you eat blueberries,
Blueberries are tasty, okay? They also color your tongue, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
here's a typical bag. They got a lot of potassium, 180 milligrams relative to their sodium.
Sure.
0. Okay, that's a good ratio. 180 milligrams of potassium to 0 sodium. That's actually the fastest way to tell if a food is good. You're like, when you're not sure, is this food good or not? Look at the potassium to sodium ratio. It should be at least 5 to 1, preferably 10 or more. And
Yeah, this is why he's scared of red meat.
this is not uncommon in a plant food. 180 to 0. 180 milligrams potassium to 0 sodium. We're biologically designed to eat lots of potassium because P for potassium.
A subscriber of mine also pointed it out that he's using this old picture instead of using a new picture. Like, what's up with that?
P for plants. There's tons of potassium in plants.
He's using a picture. Yeah, this is what my subscriber said. That he is using this picture that he when he used to eat meat. Okay.
And potassium is a vasodilator. That's what you want. Open arteries make everything good. Open arteries get your brain to work better. They get the Johnson to work better.
No, you need to eat brain in order for your brain to work good, or at least some type of animal, even muscle meat, man. The muscle meat has more building blocks in it that your brain actually needs than blueberries.
They keep the heart pumping optimally. They lower blood pressure. Nowadays, people eat too much processed food and they put too much salt on their food and fast food.
You don't want anything to like highly influence blood pressure or whatever. Unless we are talking about digestion, but something like blueberries still has some bad stuff in it because it's a plant, okay? Like, even if it's from the wild, it's not 100% good. While meat is 100% good, man. From a healthy animal, it's 100% good. Unless some type of pesticides or toxin or whatever else, something from the pollution ended up in the animal's body, then yeah, that part is not good for you. But anything else, it's good for you.
And junk food,
and it also gets digested. Most of it just gets digested and your body uses it. While eating beans and whatever, your body just throws back the fiber and it almost comes back the same way it entered.
It's got really high sodium, and so when that sodium gets real high, it's a vasoconstrictor. It inhibits endothelial nitric oxide, and the gist of it is it impairs the function.
The sodium won't get high from eating just unsalted natural meat, okay?
The sodium potassium ATPase pumps on the plasma membranes of every cell in your body.
Your body is not dumb, okay? That's something else that people nowadays like oversalt their food and they put salt on everything. But when it comes to natural food, your body is not dumb to poison itself with sodium or whatever.
In particular, the smooth muscle cells, the small arteries, when there's high dietary sodium and low potassium, the sodium potassium ATPase can't work, and that ATPase establishes the resting membrane potential and the sodium electrochemical gradient across the plasma cell membrane of your smooth muscle cells and every other cell in your body. And that is coupled to the energy transport of calcium out of the cell. You don't want high calcium
This is what happens when you're a nerd and you're too much of a nerd
inside your cells, because calcium is like
and
the
you don't listen to your senses.
on-off switch. Okay, and when calcium is high, it activates the smooth
Okay, I'm not just saying this because maybe somewhat this did help because he was like a surgeon or so, I don't know, man. Maybe I believe that he was useful to society, okay? Because somewhat it helped. But what he is doing right now with this plant-based diet, he's not helping at all, okay? Like, he does more damage. And does he sell something? I'm gonna look into it. What does he sell? Yeah, I know he sells books. It's fine to sell books, man. Why not? But the information is wrong in them.
smooth muscle cell to contract. And a contracted smooth muscle cell, it's like the circulatory system becomes all tight and clamped down, and the heart has to pump the blood through. So when you are dietarily high in sodium and low in potassium, your entire vascular system becomes contracted.
I guess he puts sodium from red meat in the same category as salt.
And the heart, in order to pump adequate blood to the brain and elsewhere, has to pump harder, so you become hypertensive. So you don't want that.
You don't want to eat too much salt, or none at all.
Hypertension is the number one. I actually think it's the most important disease because it leads to everything else. Hypertension is indirectly it's connected to diabetes, indirectly it's connected to obesity, but most importantly it's connected to atherosclerosis, and it diminishes blood supply to the brain, makes you stupid over time, diminishes blood supply to the
Yeah, that's what plants do to you.
kidneys. As the kidneys become underperfused with a lack of blood, they start to run the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system that gives you high blood pressure. Okay, more of the foods. These frozen vegetables, convenient
Disgusting.
way to get your veggies. Let's look at the sodium-potassium ratio here. Potassium, 210, you can't see it there. Sodium, 15. So, again, more than 10 to 1. That's what you want.
Man, I thought the doctors have money and buy something like really fancy, not just something in plastic bag.
Let's see what else. I often have apples. Apples is just when I feel like I'm still hungry. I got
Yeah, sure.
room for more calories. You know, you judge by your weight.
It's not about hunger. You don't want to eat that for hunger. You want to eat that for some hydration and for some carbs.
If you exercise a lot, if you feel you're skinny relative to where you want to be, you know, you can eat more apples. You know, that's how a bear fattens up for winter. Will eat more fruit. So you got to decide where you want your weight to be. Here's potatoes. Potatoes are great food. Let's take a look at the sodium-potassium ratio on here if they got it. No, I don't even have it on here. But potatoes is probably the healthiest food in the world. And potatoes only have about 1%
Potatoes are the healthiest seed you can eat.
fat. Sweet potatoes maybe in the ballpark of 3% fat. And they're both also very low in protein and very low.
I'm talking about white potatoes. Like even me, myself, I have it once or twice a year. But I think I had it 3 times this year, and I'm just not gonna have it for the rest of the year. Next time when I'm craving some baked potatoes, I probably gonna make it. But it's really not that special, guys. I mean, I put beef tallow on it, so basically I would be better off to just eat red meat and some orange juice for the carbs.
Both of them are low in protein and low in fat. That's good.
And it's more time efficient because I don't need to cook anything.
Most people, more than 99%, they're eating too much protein and too much
You can't overeat on protein.
fat. You really don't need that.
You can't overeat on fat. How are you gonna overeat on fat, man? If I give you wouldn't eat it what I would give you. But if I would give him to eat just few bites, he would feel full. Okay, maybe he's a little bit too starved and he also has like an eating disorder, he would refuse. But if he would accept and if he would listen to his senses, the fat that I would give him, let's say some heart fat or some bone marrow raw, then he would like that, okay? But he lives in denial, and he would think that he's gonna get some type of heart disease or hypertension or whatever. Yeah, that's not the case. And your body tells you when to stop.
Much. And we also talked, I think, a little bit in my Chef AJ lecture.
And the more micronutrients you have because you are eating it raw, you're gonna stop even sooner from eating it. If you would have it cooked and place some salt on it, I'm not saying it's not tasty, man. I used to eat, for example, cooked bone marrow when I was a child, and it was salted. It had even onion or whatever on it, okay, to give it like flavors. And you definitely can eat like an entire bone marrow. While if you would eat, and you're getting less nutrition that way, but if you would eat it raw, you just eat few tablespoons, man. Not really few tablespoons. Okay, let's say you eat 2 tablespoons and you're already feeling like, this is enough, okay? Let's eat more lean meat. Like lean. I don't want any fat anymore.
Lecture and
while if you're having it cooked, you definitely can eat more than 2 tablespoons. You can finish the entire bone because it's so tasty. Not that it's tasty, it's more like it's unsatisfying, like junk foods, but it's a little bit better than something from McDonald's, but still it tastes good, but it doesn't taste natural like it naturally supposed to be, and that's why you can eat more of it.
Elsewhere, that there's something called secret fat. Secret fat means that the fiber that you eat in these plant foods, and all plant foods are basically carbohydrate and fiber. Meat is basically protein and fat. So protein and fat are both bad. You want to.
And what about the micronutrients, man? You just talk about macro because he only talks about macronutrients because he cooks everything, okay?
Minimize those in your diet. Whereas carbohydrate and fiber are good. When I say carbohydrate, I mean complex carbohydrates. That's a starch. That means like a polymer or glucose that is only slowly digested because.
Yeah, your gut microbiome is going to die on such a plant-based diet.
Of the fiber. And by the way, somebody asked me about what's the funny stuff on my nose. It's because of my glasses. It's no big deal. All right.
It's alright. He wore his glasses for a long time. I guess it made like, I don't know, man. Why not buy some gold glasses or something that doesn't oxidize?
So anyways,
you're a doctor.
The point I'm making here is the fiber goes into the colon.
You can afford it.
And the good gut bacteria. There's basically two.
You can afford anything.
Types of gut flora. There's good gut bacteria that come from eating a plant-based diet, and there's bad bacteria that comes from meat or from processed food. And those
what did he say?
To the colon and the good gut bacteria. There's basically two types of gut flora. There's good gut bacteria that come from eating a plant-based diet, and there's bad bacteria that comes from meat or from processed food.
Oh my days, he puts meat in the same category as processed food.
And those are the two main.
You also process your food by cooking it.
Categories of bacteria, and here's the reason why. When you eat plant foods, the phyto.
Okay, he's lost. Like he's completely lost, guys. Oh yeah. It's not like I'm planning to help him out, but yeah.
Nutrients in the plants and the fiber feed the good gut bacteria. And
fiber, oh my god, he's talking like that guy. What's his name, man? The bodybuilder. Hench herbivore, okay?
Our ancestors thousands of years ago, they ate mostly plants. You know, we talked about this. You got flat teeth, your jaw goes side to side.
False.
We can't make vitamin C, amylase in our saliva, starch taste receptors in the tip of your tongue.
When I put some green lentils in my mouth, I feel like throwing up. The only reason why I could eat it was because, rice kind of tastes better. I have to admit. Okay, rice it tastes better. Some white rice is going to taste better than some lentils because you can already feel the carbs or something it's going on there. But yeah, rice is better, and because of eggs. Okay, like I paste bunch of eggs, and I also thought that that's a high protein meal, But yeah, it was a high protein meal because of the eggs. But if you're gonna eat it with lentils, it's just gonna inhibit the absorption of the proteins.
You got hands like a herbivore, you got a long gut like a herbivore, etc. So we're designed
Yeah, you got hands to rip off a bunch of grass and just eat it directly, right?
to eat plants biologically. And the relevance is we've been eating them for many thousands and more years, such that
I want to see this guy going in nature and collecting wild green lentils. What does he was? Let's see. I'm just gonna spoil the entire thing. Yeah, let's see him collecting a handful of beans in the wild nature. Okay, some wild beans, a handful of wild rice, and a handful of arsenic. No, there's no. Let's not talk about that, because yeah, that would be impossible for him to collect that. A handful of blueberries, sure, he can do that. Okay, like but just seasonally. And even the rest of them is just seasonally. Then collect a bunch of wild potatoes and wild vegetables. Yeah, let's go collect that. And or even just grow your own, man. It just takes so much time. While hunting an animal, it's right there in front of you. You just have to catch it, or fish it, or do something, man. Like it's one thing that in the present moment we don't have it figured out how to, and we don't know how to hunt because we grow up buying it from the store, or some wild oatmeal, man. Go ahead and collect it. And everything you eat in the day, go ahead and collect it. Let me see him going anywhere in the world and collecting all this food with his hand from the wilderness.
plant-based gut
So don't talk about how our ancestors used to eat.
flora is symbiotic with us. That's an important point.
Our ancestors had a lot more animals at their disposal than we had. So if they would see one of them going around and collecting bunch of seeds and bunch of blueberries or whatever, just like that for no reason, while there are animals, like healthy animals running around, and instead of hunting them, he would go around and collect bunch of seeds to have a plant-based meal, then everybody would have just laughed at them, and they would be malnourished, and they would be the weakest hunters ever, and nature would punish them, just like nature punished you already.
It is symbiotic with us because
Like punish this Dr. Peter Rogers.
the plants want you to live. The plant bacteria want you to live.
They definitely don't want you to live. They want themselves to live, and they protect themselves with all these defensive chemicals and whatever. Only the fruit, some of the fruits that are somewhat less protected, because my thinking is the fruit is less protected because, let's say, the seed has to be fed by something, and that's why the fruit is full of good things, water, and it's hydrating for the seed. And yeah, this is my thinking. But even then, not all fruit is edible. Okay.
Live. So they're gonna.
So yeah, plants protect themselves with these defensive chemicals, and animals defend themselves by being able to run away. Okay. But they are not going to store toxins inside of them. Okay, there are snakes and whatever, but even a snake can be eaten if you just remove the poisonous gland. If you just cut down from a piece of the tail, it's edible. Okay. I'm not sure about eating it raw, okay, but cooked, definitely. Many people eat cooked snakes. I can't talk about eating raw snakes because I would be a little bit skeptical about it.
Try to help you keep you alive. They got a nice place to live. For a bacteria, that's a good apartment to live in your colon. So they want to keep you healthy, and what they'll do is they take those fibers and they make them into short chain fatty acid. So the 2-carbon acetate primarily is absorbed, goes through the portal vein to the liver, and you can make it into even number of carbon fatty acids. The 3-carbon propionate, this is another short chain fatty acid.
Man, he's just going to talk shit.
Plant-related gut bacteria.
Let's just skip right ahead to oatmeal, man, because he lost credibility from the first minute, so there's no reason for me to just listen to this bullcrap.
From the fiber. Here's oatmeal, for example. Now, oatmeal, I like it. I can tell you most of the really
No, you don't like it, man. Most of the people like it when they put a bunch of milk on top.
healthy vegan doctors and the guys I know who are mentally sharp and physically fit in their 70s and 80s eat oatmeal. It's a convenient food.
They were sharp and strong in their 70s or in the 70s or 80s because they ate meat, okay? And animal fat.
A couple secrets about oatmeal. You want to eat plain oatmeal. There
Couple secrets, it was used to fed the horses.
should be no ingredients except for oatmeal. And I say that because as soon as you start putting ingredients in there, almost all of them have MSG of some sort. MSG is tricky, monosodium glutamate. Glutamate is the most common neurotransmitter in the brain. It's about 80% of your brain neurotransmitters, and it's an excitatory neurotransmitter.
The way I used to like oatmeal, it was with covered with bunch of sugar and some cocoa powder, okay? Yeah, that's how I used to like it.
Such that I worry.
And some vegan milk or some normal milk, but it was very important to feel some fattiness on it and a lot of sugar, okay? And make it as soft as possible, because if you would eat it like this, you would completely destroy your gut.
You overactivate the brain, you could potentially, cause anxiety.
He's just a nerd.
Organic. There's a lot of herbicides in non-organic food.
I'm not saying nerds are not useful, but being this much of a nerd, yeah, you're not gonna be as useful as someone who actually has intelligence. I think he had good genetics, okay, but somewhat down the road he got like brainwashed into this plant-based diet, and yeah, that's what led him to his downfall.
That you don't
And no, this is not normal aging. He would look a lot more better as a meat eater.
want. And I just read an entire book on the pesticides and herbicides in non-organic food. You always want to eat organic food. I will not eat non-organic food unless I have no choice.
Yeah, you're a doctor, you can afford anything. But you're talking about right now, you're talking about sweet potatoes. And yeah, sweet potatoes have oxalates. Oxalates.
I mean, if I'm
But you know that, you're a doctor.
out at a social event, it's always going to be full of MSG and herbicides, pesticides, non-organic, all that crap. But given the choice when you're, by yourself, always eat organic, okay?
But you're a doctor, man, not everybody can afford it. It would be completely stupid for me to just buy a bunch of organic. You know how much pricier that is compared to a steak?
You just protect yourself. They check the urine and the blood residues.
And even then, man, sweet potatoes are full of oxalates. So why would I want kidney stones?
Persons who eat organic have much lower
If you get kidney stones, you're gonna blame it on your age.
urine and blood residues, pesticides and herbicides. So it's in your best interest to do that. Okay, so those
Yeah, man, I'm not a fan of the way he talks.
are the main things.
I just feel like he's like a nerd, and yeah, that's how I feel.
When I have a work day, I'll eat the OMAD one
I think he used to be a lot more clever when he was younger.
meal a day. So I skip breakfast. I get a little more time to sleep, more time for everything else. I find that convenient. I find that I'm mentally sharp. I don't drink it.
He has the other video where he talks about selling out. So I guess he was tired of being a doctor and or something, and he wanted to escape by maximizing his income or whatever, and he started doing this, and he wanted to prove that because of some studies that he read that he is right, okay? And he was not right, because look what happened to him.
Anything all day, and it just has worked. And also, I lost a lot of weight.
You also lost a lot of muscle mass, man. You lost a bunch of your cells. You lost a bunch of your life. Your lifespan was reduced because you didn't. You went on this plant-based journey or whatever.
I was weighing about 188, and as soon as I went on the OMAD,
Yeah, sure. You know why? Because you were eating a bunch of seed oils. I at least, wait, I actually don't know how much that is in kilograms, but if he's talking about overweight, it's 100% it was because of overeating cooked food and seed oils, okay? And bunch of salt, and got a lot of inflammation in his body. And then, yeah, he decided that he's going to be clever about it.
died at the beginning of June 2021. You can see from my videos I kind of shrank a little bit. By the time I got to January, my weight dropped to 154. So from 188 to 154, 34 pounds pretty quickly. So that would be just a touch over 6 months. And I felt good the whole time, mentally sharp, able to work, you know, reasonably strong. I got a little weaker in the weight room when I dropped 34 pounds. But for what it's worth, I was trying to be skinny. I wanted to look like Neil Bernard. I ended up looking like something out of an El Greco. Oh, sorry about the dogs. Anyways, the last thing I'm going to say in this video
I bet the dogs eat better than you.
is if I need energy fast, I like beet juice.
Beet juice, man, come on.
Any of the beet juice brands is fine. This is just one that's good. I don't know.
At least it is in glass, but
Normally
still.
drink bottled water because almost all of them, they got something in their plastic you don't want, like polyethylene terephthalate. Some people like one of these silica containing bottled waters because theoretically silica is a chelator.
Just get a nice water filter and something good, man. You can afford it.
For aluminum. The guy Christopher Exley is the big expert on
I
aluminum.
mean, this guy can afford it.
Devoted his whole life to that. His nickname is Mr. Aluminum. And he says that silica containing bottled waters,
Or if you can't afford it, just sell this piano in the background.
chelate aluminum. You know, how true is that? He seems to believe it, and he's the expert, and, you know, there's a lot of research citations.
Listen, this is what would be a good idea for him if he could not afford it. He just sells this piano in the background and buys like a small toy piano, you know, for like $1 or something, and uses the rest of the money to buy an actual filter.
For that, I don't know. But I try to avoid bottled water except under special circumstances. If I'm super thirsty, maybe I'll do it.
Oh, but he could afford even better food than that, but yeah.
If I have to give a lecture, I know it energizes me to drink some type of beet juice. I also know if I'm working out, I don't normally
Man, beets are toxic and also leads to the coloration of your urine.
eat anything before I work out for a pre-workout meal. But if I'm doing a personal rep maximum, like a high repetition squats, like you know, my last personal rep maximum squats, I did 100
Yeah, let's drink some root juice.
reps or 105 reps with 115 pounds. High rep squats with a safety squat bar. Safety squat bars when you got your hands in
Actually,
close. It makes it easier on your shoulders to squat that way. So anyways, what other food do we not talk about? We talked about sweet potatoes. Okay, also, the 1 meal a day diet, what's the
Where was
justification
it, man?
for it? There are special circumstances. If I'm super thirsty, maybe I'll do it. If I have to give a lecture, I know it energizes me to drink.
look what that looks like, man. It looks exactly what primalism had in the bottle, okay? It looks like natural ketchup. Exactly it looked like this, and in the middle it would be like coagulated.
Drink some type of beet juice. I also know if I'm working out, I don't normally eat anything before I work out for a pre-workout meal, but if I'm doing a
Just coagulated natural ketchup. That's what it looks like.
personal rep maximum, like a high repetition squats, like you know, my last personal rep maximum squats, I did 100 reps or 105.
Even people in my country are like brainwashed that beet juice or whatever, and red onion, because it has that color. It boosts like it makes your blood quality better or whatever. Like that's what they believe, man.
5 reps with 115 pounds. High rep squats with a safety squat bar. Safety squat bars when you got your hands in close. It makes it easier on your shoulders to squat that way. So anyways, what other food do we not talk about? We talked about sweet potatoes. Okay, also, the 1 meal a day diet, what's the justification for it? I had read, you know, the article, Mechanisms of Insulin Resistance and Physiological Reviews by Gerald Sheldman, MD, PhD, and he was talking about how glycogen storage can easily be maintained for 24 hours, and it routinely is maintained pretty well for 48 hours. And when I say glycogen, I mean the ability of the liver to
I think he's too much of a nerd, and he just talks too much information, and there's no reason to listen to him because he just lost credibility from the beginning. Let's just watch the summary.
answer the questions. Basically, the summary of this diet, it's low sodium, low
Yeah, go low on salt, but still eat red meat.
fat, 100%
No, eat as much fat as you want, especially if you have it raw. It's going to be like a self-stopping mechanism, and you're not gonna eat much, man. Try to eat 2 tablespoons of bone marrow, man. Can you do it? You can do it if you're like super starved and super low body fat, but if you were properly fed, then you're having trouble, or 2 tablespoons of raw butter, or normal butter. If you want to experiment and you don't have access, just have 2 tablespoons of normal butter. Can you do it, man? I really don't think so. I mean, probably you can do it, but try 5 or something. You even you just feel that, yeah, this is enough.
100% organic, 100% plant-based, starch-based, extra calories.
And because of the butter, it doesn't really contain as much nutrients as something like bone marrow. Yeah, it also you're not gonna feel as good from it. You're just gonna feel like you still need some organs, and you still need some muscle meat.
Calories from eating fruits. I'll eat a little bit of vegetables once in a while if they're available. You know, if there's some cauliflower or some broccoli. I always eat a salad because right in the middle of the molecule for photosynthesis, the chlorophyll, is magnesium, and magnesium is a major vasodilator. Magnesium is your friend. You just get it from eating plant food. Same thing. You get your potassium.
No, man, definitely don't get it from the plants, because that has the plant version, and sometimes somewhat it's good, but it's still just too little, and it's just not worth to eat that plant just for the magnesium. Just better eat some meat, because meat has exactly what your meat needs. Like, the meat in your body has exactly the same building blocks that what. Yeah, and this is why you should go for raw foods, okay? For our natural diet, and yeah, raw meat. That's our natural diet, and that's the healthiest thing on the planet.
From eating plant
No plant comes close. Stop being so clever until aliens land on this planet, and they are going to bring us a plant that is healthier than meat, and it's going to increase actually our lifespan. Until then, just eat meat, man, because aliens did not come yet to bring us such a plant.
You get
Or at least I don't know about it.
vitamin C from eating plant foods. I've been 100.
Even if they bring it, I'm gonna be very skeptical about it, man. I'm just going to stick to eating meat and let others try it, unless they force us or something. I'm talking science fiction here, guys, in case someone takes it seriously that I believe in aliens or whatever. Yeah, that's a topic for another day, but yeah, until then, let's just live to the planet's standards, that humans are supposed to eat meat.
100% vegan now for about 3 years.
But he doesn't promote like a 100% vegan diet. He still eats turkey, or no, it was McDougall who was doing that. But this guy also eats some meat, okay?
I only supplement with.
I read a little bit of his book, and it said eat like big percentage of plant-based diet.
Vitamin B12, and I think it's the methylcobalamin I take. I wouldn't take cyanocobalamin. I don't want that. I would take methylcobalamin, like a sublingual, rapidly absorbed. You don't have to worry about all the gut issues. And that's it. And I feel really healthy. I'm 58. I feel great.
Yeah. We can tell.
Energetic, sharp.
Yeah, you're so energetic, man.
So.
And so sharp that you sound like a complete nerd.
Hope that's helpful.
Actually, there was a better, but yeah, it's just a drawing, whatever. It was some type of video. Yeah, let's just watch this because I found it funny.
Okay, this video is Why Do Doctors Sell Out? Andrew Huberman versus Peter Rogers. So let's take a look at Andrew Huberman. He's a muscular guy. He's got, as many tattoos.
This is what he used to look like when he ate meat, okay? He was not on plant-based diet here. Because if he was on plant-based diet, he would look something like young Durian Rider. Not this old one on steroids.
As a heroin addict or like a gangbang extra in a porno film.
He just looks like.
He's a 47-year-old neuroscientist.
I don't know, maybe he did. I really don't know, man.
Researcher.
But yeah, I don't agree with the tattoos. It's better to not have tattoos. I would say that here, when he used to eat meat, he would mug this guy, okay? maybe if he would show like a same, but here they are not the same age. I don't know, man.
college professor at Stanford.
But on these two photos, let's just talk about these photos that they're showing. I'm not gonna look up more photos. Here, this guy mugs this guy, okay? And that's just how it is. I don't know about height.
Dr. Rogers, a 60-year-old imaging-guided surgeon. He was a college wrestler, actually, at Stanford.
But if you, why not show, that would have been more fair. Look, this guy is 47 and maybe you're showing the picture of him at 47 and you should show a picture at 47. Like, what are you doing, man? You don't have a picture from 47? If you don't have, then show us a picture from 46 or 45 or something. Like, be fair. You're a doctor, you could compare same age and yeah, that's how it would be fair. But you just show some unfair comparison. You're showing a picture when you were in your 20s compared to a guy who's 47. Like, what? What type of logic you have, man? As a doctor, it's shame.
Years ago, also imaging-guided surgeon, neuroradiologist, expert on nutrition, toxicology, study skills, author of 20 books. He has 0 tattoos. He's a real Christian, writes books about it, Best Christian Art, Holy Grail Wisdom Quotes, etc. Andrew Huberman, he teaches at Stanford at the undergraduate level. He teaches, he basically like reads from an undergraduate textbook. It's like, if for people who know
Oh my days, man.
neuroscience, it's like baby talk.
He's trying to undermine his studies or whatever.
A snooze fest.
Oh, okay, here it says. So he's a surgeon, okay? Like, he was a useful doctor, alright?
And is he a real Christian or not? I don't know.
But since it changed to talking about diets, then yeah, he's no longer as useful, guys. It does more damage. He actually, the patients who has it treated, he makes them more unhealthy now.
No. Actually, I kind of
with his diet.
like him. I could see myself having friends like him. And we would be friends if we met each other in real life. But there are significant differences. Dr. Rogers teaches at a level of neuroscience beyond what fellowship-trained neurologists know, beyond what brain researchers know. Most nutrition experts won't even interview him because he criticizes the supplements and the toxins in food and some things in the healthcare system. They're afraid he'll steal their audience. And also because he talks about Christianity.
Criticizes supplements. Okay, yeah, that's good.
And etc. Andrew Huberman says that he likes to eat olive oil in moderation. And watch out for that.
Olive oil in moderation. I would understand that because you can argue that somewhat when you're having like a cooked food and you put a few drops of olive oil on top, it gives an interesting taste, okay? I'm not saying it's healthy for you or something, but it gives like a taste that kind of complements it, okay? Like, I can kind of understand that. If I would have to choose between what type of oil I want to put, I would be forced to put some type of oil on my cooked food, and if I would eat cooked food, I would pick olive oil just for the taste. But it has a toxic taste, and I don't know, man. I still like how pickled olives taste, okay? I used to have it few times. Like I had this year like 2 times, I guess, and yeah, that's one pickled fruit. It's kind of toxic and it's not the best thing, but yeah, whatever.
The word moderation.
And butter, I do like butter. I have nothing against butter.
That's usually when somebody says that,
especially raw.
They're BSing you, and that he likes to eat butter. So he's a real nutrition expert there.
You're definitely not a nutritional expert.
His videos often have 10-minute intros.
I love how he's trying to be sarcastic, but yeah, he just fails to be sarcastic.
With no useful info. But they love him. He gets interviewed by all the bro science, phony health channels. He gets
yeah, you would call me also bro science.
Invited on late night TV shows, you name it.
But what you're doing, it's complete nerd science. Like, it's not just but not the smart type of nerd who actually does his research and yeah, he lives like in a laboratory doing like real researches and actually helps humanity. You are the one that destroys humanity's genes.
He's super famous. He's the most famous neuroscientist in the world. Okay, Dr. Rogers usually gets right to the point in his videos. When it comes to a topic, let's just talk about an important topic: F- in the water. UB makes a video saying that F- in the water is okay, that people quite often will want some, that it's good for teeth, it's reasonable to want that. Okay. That's sort of like the standard party line message, if you will, on F minus. Okay, what does Dr. Rogers say? He says that he tells the public the truth. F minus is toxic to the testicles. It's going to lower
Yes, it is toxic.
your sperm counts. Going to promote infertility. It's toxic to the spine, skeletal fluorosis. You know, a guy named Dr. Reddy wrote a book about that. A neurosurgeon. It's toxic to the brain. It lowers IQ, decreases cognitive function.
Something also decreased your cognitive function, man.
Al is added to
It was plants.
the water,
It
and
was your diet.
that synergizes to increase the neurotoxicity of F minus. So it seems pretty clear that whoever's promoting that wants to lower IQs, especially children where they have a less well-formed blood-brain barrier. Pregnant mothers drinking this garbage.
I know that Andrew Huberman is not the best example, but because he promotes eating butter, he's better example than this guy. Okay, just because he talks about fluoride in water, that you should ignore it or whatever, you're still better off eating some butter and drinking some tap water than eating what he recommended in his What I Eat in a Day video. Okay, like a piece of bread with butter, with like thick butter, like place thick butter on top, and a glass of a glass of tap water with fluoride. It's still going to be you're still going to be healthier than eating what was he saying, the green lentils. Okay, like what's the point of eating green lentils with rice, man? There's no reason to eat that. Or just take the butter off and ignore anything else. And sure, if there's no way for you to hydrate, then drink the tap water, because yeah, that's at least something. You're not just gonna dry fast because you don't have access to watery fruits, okay, or you don't have access to raw meat.
It's an insecticide, a rodenticide. You know, halogens, a vertical column in the periodic table of elements, they kill stuff, okay? You sterilize stuff with iodine prep, okay? You sterilize a pool with chlorine or with bromine, for example, okay? There's the truth, all right? So what's the difference in their internet careers? Yubi gets millions of views on his videos. He's got millions and millions of subscribers. He makes millions and...
I get way less views on my videos. I make zero money on my videos. I don't sell supplements. And I am more right than both of you by million times. Yeah. So what does he say?
Millions of dollars. He's super rich. He sells supplements.
Like, what does he say about him? I'm waiting on that part.
Okay, Dr. Rogers gets, several hundred views on a video.
His still getting more than, but not as correct as me.
Channel is not monetized. He gets zero money from the internet. He works full-time in conventional medicine to make his dollars. He doesn't promote or sell any supplements. He only takes B12 like all vegans do. So anyways, why do they...
You still have a good income, don't cry.
Sell out? You...
Does not promote any... it's fine. Only takes B12 like all He's vegan. What? But in his book talks about 80 or 90% getting, like, I don't know, man. Whatever. Has 5 women in his bed and he has 0 women in his... What? And is that a flex? I would rather have 5 than 0. Come on, man.
He's a millionaire and he's got...
So this guy is basically a Chad and you're a nerd. That's what you're saying here.
Got 5 women in his bed. Dr. Rogers makes no money from his internet work and he currently has 0 women in his bed. I think I understand why doctors often sell out.
No, you don't understand, man. Yeah, I bet 100% that you don't even understand what the black pill means, okay? But yeah, look it up. Yeah, that's the video, guys. Hope it was entertaining.